The institution of marriage is under attack from all corners, but most importantly, the liberal ideology that has permeated ungodly forms of union. To this end, hundreds of couples subscribing to the Christian marriage are attending a marriage conference intended to rebuild broken ones and strengthen those that were at the brink of breaking.
God had to make a parallel version of a man, the same but different, complementary to him. And so marriage was formed in that moment, that a man would leave his father and mother, Genesis says, and so the two would become one flesh.
Justice Mike Chibita, the marriage conference host, equates marriage to a vehicle that, if not maintained, could tear and wear out soonest.
And then you have to go to a garage and they fix it. But some cars actually are taken to the garage when they have engine knocks, and it has to undergo an overhaul. What I'm saying is, we may be at different stages in our marriages. Let's treat this as a garage where we've come to interact with some mechanics and other cars, and we compare notes.
The Archbishop of Kampala Diocese, Reverend Paul Semogerere, graced the opening session with a strong call to the marrieds to appreciate one another in the spirit of Jesus' love for the church.
That husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it, dying for the church. That the husbands have more responsibility even of dying for a wife. In all matters, I think we should rectify this today through this message. That these days I'm seeing that the wives are dying for the husbands even more. They pay the school fees, they look for the money, they go to hospitals, they forgive when the husband has an extra affair.
Reverend Stephen Gwokuroja, the guest speaker of the two-day conference, expounds on the consequences of divorce.
And I sometimes use an illustration of two people coming together, two cards like this, a grey one and a pink one, a man and a woman joined together in marriage, and I usually stick it together like this. And it shows that two become one, which is wonderful. But when it's torn apart, like I tore this one apart earlier, you see what happens. Look at the terrible damage to both of them. There's some grey on the pink and some pink on the grey, because what that means is that part of us is left behind when divorce happens. We're less whole, we're broken, and really, look at the brokenness of that paper. Looks horrible, doesn't it? And that's sadly what happens when women and men tragically have to split up. It's painful, it's horrible, God hates it. He really loves those people deeply and doesn't want them to feel the pain of divorce.
The conference that is running under the theme, Submit to One Another Out of Reverence for Christ, is the first of its kind in Uganda. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.